Hello from snowy Canada. I'm going for a little bit of a walk, which is a nice relief. I've been recovering from a head cold for the last couple of weeks. Probably the worst one I've had in years. If my steps seem a little inconsistent, that's because I'm slipping on ice hidden under the snow. But it's been a while since I've made a YouTube video for everybody, and don't worry, I'm watching the path. Some good things have happened. I wasn't even sure if they're really good. I finished Rogue Clipper and managed to stay away from the manuscript for the nearly 2 weeks that it was with distributors ready for release. That's important because the more you mess with something and re-upload things, the more opportunity you're giving digital systems to screw up in the pipeline. Also, creatively, it's not good to revise an ending once you've locked in your original plans and made the modifications or basic revisions that you already sort of accounted for. Second guessing yourself isn't the term. The revisions that I would have made might have made the book better, but it's more likely that after revising that ending 6 or 7 times, adding more body to it, subtracting from it, may have made it simpler, less controversial, but I'd give that a 1 in 10 chance. It's more likely that I would have just made it a hell of a lot worse and more confusing. So that brings me to the topic of this video. Disillusionment. I'm sure there's some kind of psychology term for it. Oh yeah, and this is my backyard, which I share with a very good neighbor. I'll give you a look. Yeah, I live within 30 or 40 feet of a set of tracks. I got used to it. Anyway, I like the shrubs as a backdrop. So, when I come to the end of a project, I usually get in very recent years, I get quiet on social media, or I find something else to do, because by the time I finish a book, I'm not sure if it's any good. I have no real measure of the work I've done. And yeah, it's true. I've gone back and changed whole endings, rewritten whole sections when I really shouldn't have. And not with this most recent book, but with other books. Those rewrites always lead to corrective rewrites because I'm not working from a place of confidence. And with this book, I didn't exactly get the ending I wanted, but I knew I got the ending that would serve this book and the rest of the series, but mostly this book, mostly the quartet, a set of 4 Rogue Element books starring Rogue. So it was mostly the ending that was planned. I would have loved to go for another 10 chapters, but it was time. And I didn't want to push the release date again because I'd already pushed it at least a month. So I did all the editing that I could. I'm very thankful to everyone on Patreon who suffered through the limited release schedule. So usually 2 chapters a week, and I say suffered not because the book was bad. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed writing it. which should be the primary measure of its quality, but it never is by the end. There's nothing I can do about being unsure of the book's quality, because by the time I get to the end of the book, I'm sad that I'm finishing it, because I don't like moving on. And I'm also, my head's full of it. I have no objectivity. That's common, and there's no fixing that. I mean, I'm sure I could go to therapy, but this really isn't hurting my career. And if anything, it's led to some very minor tweaks and revisions, like it did in this one, where before I hit submit, which is usually almost 2 weeks before the release date, I went back and made a few tweaks, and that's always the case. So those tweaks don't really count as revisions so much as just some corrections. And people on, I think a few people on Patreon actually noticed, which is fine, which is good. One even actually came out in an email and privately said that that's a much better decision. So a lot of people didn't, which is also great. So then follows, the time when you shouldn't touch the book, because you don't want to confuse the digital gods who are waiting to, or getting ready to release it to everybody. So I'm slowly building up an ice layer of snow here, but it's actually the only thing that's cold are my hands, because I forgot my gloves. But no, the book has come out. I finished the quartet, and I think this is a place I feel comfortable leaving the series, because it does show you where Rogue and her friends ended up, what she learned about herself, and it tells you what she intends to do with her future. And that was really the purpose that I had for the ending. So I think leaving it there is a really good idea. Bringing her into the main series as for Spinrad Fringe as a main character is a mistake, because that series has enough main characters as it is, and I'm going to be focusing on 3 for Legion. Which I can't talk about. I can't talk about Legion. Will she appear as a cameo character? Absolutely. There was enough plot intertwining of her books with the main Spinrad Fringe series that I'm definitely going to have to, I don't want to show into anyone's windows, I'm definitely going to have to bring her into the series, and that'll include certain members of her crew. That was one of the reasons why I wasn't afraid to start something between her and a certain crew member from the Spinrad Fringe series, because I knew that that would be a good way to attach her to that series without making her a main character. Don't think my hat's straight, and I don't know if that helped. Anyway, so there's that, and the other thing is what I'm working on now, which is the moderately unhinged decision to heavily edit, and clean up Dark Arts, which is the only horror novel that I have managed to write since I've been writing in public, since I started this in 2008. Anyway, yeah, that's not a normal decision for the holidays. But it's the one I actually made, and that's because I didn't see any other time to really edit it, and I needed a break from science fiction, and there's nothing like departing to the 1970s in Canada as a fictional place. Like nothing else would further remove me from sorry, text message from a friend who lost a package. Basically visiting the world of Dark Arts, which is in 1970s Azilda / Sudbury, Northern Ontario, fictionalized. That definitely removes me from science fiction for a while, and I'll be finished that in a few weeks. I'm not really taking a break from it in the holidays, because I just want to get it finished so I can write Dark Arts 2 later in 2026. I actually want to have it out for October, but we'll see where Spinrad Fringe takes me. I expect Legion will be the hardest Spinrad Fringe novel to write so far, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. So, I guess the last thing is, as a part-time job, I'm becoming, not successful yet, but a gaming streamer, which means that for a few hours a week, I play games on YouTube or Twitch live, and you can watch me play. I'm launching a server for 7 Days to Die called 14 Days to Die, and my gamer tag is Snooze Frenzy. So you can look that up. You'll see videos on that, and Snooze Frenzy has his own channel. It's not like I have a great big different persona as a gamer. I'm pretty much me across the board, because doing anything more would take a lot more effort. So that's the other thing that I'm doing. I needed a part-time job because I needed something to take me away from writing for a few hours a week, and I already played games, so why not turn another hobby into a career? I don't really expect much from this, but I hope I've been able to speak to a few readers at length while I've been gaming. I'm sorry if my nose is running. This may have been a bad idea, but it's an honest idea. Honest YouTube videos have a little bit of runny noses in them. The grammar in that was terrible. Anyway, so that's the other thing I'm doing. I'll be doing it on and off during the holidays and after, because I enjoy it. Turns out I enjoy live gaming, and I enjoy one of the things I enjoy is people popping into the live chat and talking to them there. I will try to do a Q&A because there are a few questions built up, and that might wrap into some behind the scenes stuff for the Rogue novels, but I don't know if I'll get to it over the holidays. And my hands are freezing, so I guess it's time to sign off. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season, and sparing that, I hope everyone stays safe and finds something to enjoy. It's probably one of the most challenging years for a lot of people. I hear from a lot of people who are looking for something to read because things aren't going so well, and I wish I could write more, but I can only concentrate so much for so long, and my hands will only bear so much typing, so I'll do my best. On your end, thank you very much for the early reviews, for the reviews that are still coming in, and I'm happy that a lot of people, not all people, but a lot of people really enjoyed the Rogue Element series. And thank you very much for supporting me in any way that you do. And I hope you have a great holiday season.